The steel door flew open with a crash that made every head turn. A mountain of leather and ink walked into Rosie's diner. Not just one biter, but 12. Their boots hit the checkerboard floor like thunder. The leader stopped at the counter, his scarred knuckles resting on the formica, eyes scanning the room like a predator sizing up prey. But before we go any further, hit that subscribe button right now. This story is going places you won't see coming, and I need you here for every second of it. Drop a comment too, and tell me where you're watching from. I want to know if you can handle what happens next, because what this man saw in the next 30 seconds would crack open a secret this small town had been hiding for months. The lunch rush had just started. Families sat in booths with their burgers and milkshakes. Old men nursed coffee at the counter. Everything was normal, safe, the kind of place where nothing ever happened. And then they walked in. The waitress behind the counter froze. Her name tag read Jenna. She was young, maybe 23, with her blonde hair pulled back tight, wisps escaping around her temples. Her uniform was spotless, her smile rehearsed. But the leader saw it immediately, the bruise. Dark purple spreading from her jawline down her neck, barely hidden by the collar of her pink uniform. She'd tried to cover it with makeup, but under the diner's harsh fluorescent lights, it was obvious. Another bruise wrapped around her left wrist like a bracelet of pain. She grabbed a stack of menus with trembling hands. "Welcome to Rosie's," she said, her voice bright but hollow. "Booth or counter?" The leader didn't answer right away. His eyes, cold blue, the kind that had seen too much, locked onto hers. She looked away fast, too fast. "Counter's fine," he said, his voice gravel and whiskey. The other bikers spread out, filling stools, their presence swallowing the room's oxygen. Conversations died. Forks stopped moving. A little girl in the corner booth whispered, "Mommy, are they bad guys?" Jenna moved down the counter, setting down waters with trembling hands. When she reached the leader, she fumbled the glass. Water splashed across the counter, soaking the napkins. "I'm so sorry, I'll get that." "Don't worry about it." His voice was softer now. "You okay?" She looked up, startled. No one asked her that. Not anymore. "I'm fine." The lie came automatic, smooth as glass. She grabbed a rag and started wiping, but he saw her wince when she bent down, saw the way she favored her right side, like her ribs were screaming, saw the fear in her eyes, not of him, but of something else, someone else. He'd seen it before, too many times. The bell above the door chimed. Jenna's whole body went rigid. The rag fell from her hand. A man walked in, tall, clean-cut, polo shirt tucked into khakis. He looked like he sold insurance or coached Little League, handsome in that forgettable way. He smiled at the room, friendly, easy. But when his eyes found Jenna, the smile changed. Just a fraction, just enough. She went pale. "Hey, babe," he called out, crossing the diner. "Thought I'd surprise you for lunch." He reached the counter and leaned in, kissing her cheek. His hand wrapped around her arm, the bruised one, and squeezed. Not hard enough for anyone else to notice, but the leader saw her face, saw the flash of pain she couldn't quite hide. "Busy day?" he asked, still smiling. "Yeah, really busy. I didn't know you were coming." "I wanted to see my girl." He glanced at the bikers, his smile tightening. "Interesting crowd today." One of the bikers, a woman with a shaved head and a snake tattoo coiling up her arm, met his gaze and didn't blink. He looked away first. "I'll just grab a coffee," he said. "Don't let me interrupt." Jenna nodded and turned to pour, but her hands were shaking so badly she nearly dropped the pot. The leader watched as the clean-cut man's jaw tightened, watched his fingers drum against the counter in irritation. This wasn't just a bad relationship. This was a trap, and everyone in this town pretended not to see it. The bikers stayed for an hour. They ordered food, burgers, fries, pie. The leader asked for black coffee, nothing else. He sat there, watching, learning. The clean-cut man left after 20 minutes, but not before whispering something in Jenna's ear that made her eyes fill with tears. She blinked away fast. He kissed her forehead like a loving boyfriend and walked out whistling. After he left, Jenna moved like a robot, refilling drinks, taking orders, smiling that dead smile. When she brought the leader his check, he didn't take it. "What's his name?" he asked quietly. She froze. "Excuse me?" "Your boyfriend. What's his name?" The color drained from her face. That's none of..." "I'm not here to judge you." His voice was low, meant only for her. "I'm here because I've seen this before, and I know how it ends." Tears welled up, but she fought them back. "You don't know anything about me." "I know you're scared. I know he hurts you, and I know this town sees it and does nothing." Her breath hitched. For a second, he thought she might break, might tell him everything. Instead, she grabbed the check from his hand and walked away. If you're still watching, comment "I'm hooked" right now, because what happens next is gonna blow your mind. The bikers left, but the leader, call him the Wolf because that's what his crew called him, didn't go far. He parked his bike 2 blocks away and waited. His lieutenant, the woman with the snake tattoo, pulled up beside him. Her name was Raven. She asked, "You thinking what I'm thinking?" "Probably." I lit a cigarette. "You see her face when he walked in?" "Like she saw a ghost." Raven kicked her stand down. "What's the play?" "We watch, we wait, we don't make a move until we know for sure." "We already know." "Knowing and proving are different things." Raven studied him. "You got that luck, the one you get when you're about to do something stupid." "Not stupid, necessary." They watched the diner until closing, watched Jenna lock up, her movements slow, exhausted, watched her walk to a beat-up Honda in the back lot. And then they watched the clean-cut man step out from behind a dumpster. She didn't even flinch, like she'd been expecting him. They talked, or rather he talked, and she stood there, head down, arms wrapped around herself. Then he grabbed her by the throat and slammed her against the car. Raven's hand went to her knife. "Not yet," the Wolf said. "He's choking her." "Not yet." It took everything he had to stay still. Every instinct screamed at him to move, to break that man's arm, to make him feel a fraction of the pain he was causing. But if they moved now, she'd pay for it later. So they watched as he shoved her into the car, watched her drive away, him following in a black SUV. "We follow?" Raven asked. "No." The Wolf crushed his cigarette under his boot. "We dig."
Turns out the clean-cut man's name was Derek Pullman. High school football hero, real estate agent, deacon at the local church, engaged to Jenna for 6 months. Everyone loved him. The Wolf spent 2 days asking questions, talking to people at the gas station, the hardware store, the bar on the edge of town, and the same thing kept coming up. "Oh, Derek, great guy. Him and Jenna are perfect together. He's so patient with her. She's lucky to have him. I heard she's got some issues, anxiety or something. He really takes care of her." The story was always the same. Derek was the hero. Jenna was the problem. The Wolf knew that script. Abusers wrote it in blood. On the 3rd day, he went back to the diner. Jenna saw him walk in and almost dropped a plate. She recovered fast, but he saw the panic flash across her face. He sat at the counter. She approached slowly, like he might bite. "Coffee?" Her voice was flat. "And a conversation." "I can't. I'm not asking. I'm offering." She looked around. The lunch crowd was thin. No one was paying attention. "I don't need your help," she whispered. "Maybe not, but I'm giving it anyway." "You don't understand. If he finds out—" "He won't." The wolf leaned forward. "But this doesn't end unless you want it to." Her eyes filled with tears again. "You think I haven't tried? You think I haven't called the police? They know him. They like him. They told me I was overreacting." There it was, the truth. This wasn't just about Derek. This was about a whole system that failed her. Still here? Drop a like if this is hitting different, because the twist is coming and you're not ready. The wolf called a meeting with his crew that night. 12 bikers sat around a fire in the woods outside town. They'd been riding together for 15 years. They'd seen wars, prison, loss. They weren't Boy Scouts, but they had a code. "Here's the situation," the wolf said. "There's a woman being hurt. The law won't help her. The town won't help her. So we will." "We're not vigilantes," one of the guys said. "No, we're not." The wolf swept the circle. "What's the plan?" Raven spoke up. "We don't touch him, not yet. First, we make sure she's safe. Then we make sure the whole town knows what he is. And if that doesn't work," the wolf smiled, but it wasn't friendly, "then we get creative." Over the next week, the bikers became regulars at Rosie's diner. They came in for breakfast, lunch, dinner. They tipped well. They were polite. They made sure Jenna was never alone. Derek noticed. He started showing up more often, his jaw tight, his eyes tracking every move the bikers made. One afternoon, he cornered the wolf outside. "You got a problem?" Derek asked, his voice low, threatening. The wolf looked him up and down. "Not yet." "You're making my fiancé uncomfortable." "Am I?" The wolf tilted his head. "Or are you?" Derek's face went red. "I don't know who you think you are." "I know exactly who I am. The question is, do you know what you are?" For a second, Derek's mask slipped. The wolf saw it, the rage, the cruelty, the sick thrill of control. Then Derek smiled, friendly again. "You should leave town. I hear the roads are dangerous this time of year." "I'll take my chances." Derek walked away, but the wolf knew. The clock was ticking now. That night, Jenna didn't show up for her shift. The wolf drove to her apartment. The door was open. Inside, the place was trashed, furniture overturned, dishes smashed, blood on the kitchen tile, and Jenna was gone. Raven came up behind him. "He took her. I know." "Where?" "His place. Has to be." They rode fast, the whole crew behind them. Derek's house was on the edge of town. Big, new, perfect lawn. The kind of house that screamed success. The lights were on. The wolf didn't knock. He kicked the door in. Derek was in the living room, standing over Jenna, who was curled up on the floor, blood streaming from her nose. He spun around, shock and fury twisting his face. "Get out of my house!" The wolf crossed the room in 3 strides and put Derek on the ground so fast he didn't even see it coming. "You don't get to touch her again," the wolf said quietly. "Ever." Raven helped Jenna up. She was crying, shaking, but alive. "Call the police," the wolf said. "They won't do anything," Jenna sobbed. "They will now." Here's the thing about small towns. They love their secrets, but they love a scandal more. By morning, everyone knew what happened. The bikers had recorded everything. Derek's threats, the trashed apartment, Jenna's injuries. They posted it online. Within hours, it went viral. The news showed up, the state police, the district attorney. Derek was arrested. Jenna was safe. And the town, that perfect, quiet little town, had to face what they had ignored for months. 3 months later, the wolf rode back through. Jenna was still at Rosie's, but she looked different now, stronger. She smiled when she saw him, a real smile this time. "You came back," she said. "Had to make sure you was okay." "I am, because of you." "No," he shook his head. "Because of you. You survived. That's all you." She nodded, tears in her eyes. "Thank you for seeing me when no one else did. You were always worth seeing." He left that afternoon, the rumble of his bike fading into the distance. Here's the lesson. Sometimes the people who look the most dangerous are the ones who'll save you. And sometimes the people who look the safest are the ones you need saving from. Don't judge the leather and the scars. Judge the action. Judge the heart, because in the end, that's all that matters. If this story hit you, hit that like button, subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment telling me what you think, because stories like this, they matter, and you matter. Stay safe out there.